Good afternoon.
Yep.
Refresh your browsers, y'all, because today is Tuesday, January 31st, 2012. And you're listening to Room 3026 Live, episode 455, a 60-minute conversation ranging from technology to pop culture. I am your host, Give Me Some Sugar, Damon Nolan, and we are broadcasting live right here in Durham, North Carolina. It's lunch hour in the Onyx Tower.
That was very different.
Today my co-hosts are Mr. Derek Brinson,
a.k.a. the world's funkiest man. Stay funky, my friends.
Lord Heaven to Bits, Mr. Derek Brinson, and Mr. Michael Render.
Doozy.
As always, we encourage listener participation. That means that you, that's right, you can join the conversation. All you have to do is call our number at 646-929-2689. Again, at 646-929-2689. Or you can chat with us right now. It's live, actually. We are live. Just go on to blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. Click on today's episode, scroll down to the bottom, and there we are. All right, I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Darren Tyler for providing our theme song. It is titled Without You. And that reminds me that without you, we would not be where we are today. So let me say thank you. A very heartfelt and warm
Thank you.
thank you. Lord Heavens to Bits, Mr. Bob Dabalina.
Mr. Dabalina.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we go over here to the chat room and say hi to those who are with us right now. Let me say
What's
hi
that?
to Alan Tran,
The man.
the man.
Alakazam.
We also got Miss
Kablam!
Eileen Smith
Who we love.
is in the house. What's going on, Miss Eileen? And Mr. Tim Arthur, Timothy, Tim Bada Bim.
What else?
Arthur. And DB Funky's in the house as well. What's going on, y'all? It is Tuesday. I almost feel like it should be Monday all over again.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it to be Monday. That's not the point in saying that. I wasn't saying, oh, it should be Monday. It just feels like it should be Monday all over again.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No?
It's what it feels like. It feels like it's going in really slow motion, and that everything that could potentially go bad is taking a long time to get to the good part.
No.
Yes.
I got up at quarter till bad words and went to the gym today.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm tired of y'all.
Congratulations.
I'm already tired.
Congratulations.
Man, I'm not built for this. This morning thing and this cardio stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Me?
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm just not metabolizing things the way I used to, so I gotta do something. I'm gonna be big as a house.
So today you're eating, what is this? What do you have on the table today?
Chicken, peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots.
Yeah.
Sounds like what we're going back to our childhood. Of baby food, some peas and carrots. That's the first thing that reminds me of, peas and carrots and chicken. Just ground together into a nice...
No, they're all kind of sort of separate. At least the peas and carrots. There are peas and there
That's the
are
sound
carrots.
it makes when it goes on your plate.
Nope.
Or in the bowl.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, open your mouth. Let the train come in.
Choo-choo train. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Peas and carrots. Those are the things that I didn't like. Just give me a steak.
I feel you.
So I got the coffee maker working.
Yes, so I noticed.
Yeah. Do you know, I learned a very valuable lesson about what it takes to actually clean a coffee maker. So yesterday, I'm still making changes to the office, right? So part of the changes that I'm making is I'm beginning to live again in my office. One of those things is pulling out the coffee maker again. And I think we just didn't have any other place to put a coffee maker after a while. I don't know exactly.
There was all of us. There was way too much of us here.
Stuff. And so I revived the coffee maker. It is actually sitting right here, just feet just feet away from me. And I revived it yesterday. And as I pulled it out, I was getting ready to, to clean it out or whatever, put some water and stuff in there. And I noticed that the container had mold growing inside of it, it blew my mind. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And I'm not talking about mold inside of the container. I'm talking about the where the filter goes, right? So somehow there was mold. It was like white mold growing up the sides. And so I cleaned it out. I went next door, got some hot water and cleaned it out. And then I ran like 3 hot boiling what do you call them? Cycles of making coffee. Or it wasn't coffee, but it was like hot cycles. So it was steaming hot water. And I said, well, that clearly you can't survive.
So
steaming hot water. Right. But I went to a resource yesterday.
I was gonna ask where that interesting aroma came from. I guess I'm not going to spoil that.
Yes, that's a part of my story. So
okay. See,
I go down to the expert and I said, Cynthia, who is keeps us together here in the office.
She's everything to everyone.
She is. I said, Cynthia, let me run this by you. Do you think 3 hot scalding pots of steaming hot water would clean the coffee pot? She goes, no. And if you think that that's enough, something's wrong with you. What you need to do is go get a container of vinegar, mix it with water, and then go through the process of cleaning
thusly
it.
Thusly the interesting aroma. Sure.
So there is so someone said it smells like glue in here. The other one says it smells like salt and vinegar chips. So it's all the above. So anyway, I am now sipping on a freshly brewed thing of coffee that I can brew at any point in time of the day.
Excellent.
So maybe I'll brew some in the morning so that those of us who like to partake of the black gold
I'm a coffee.
can partake.
I'm a coffee achiever. I am.
So anyway, that's the story behind it. Let me say hi to Dyslexic in America who just walked in the door.
Hello.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Let me also apologize for yesterday.
Yes.
So let me talk a little bit about that.
Yes. See, what had happened was...
That's how you begin every story. What had happened was... So we thought for a moment that it was a Blog Talk Radio thing.
And we talked very badly about our friends at Blog Talk Radio.
Well, I didn't actually say anything that I would regret.
Well...
I just said, oh, there we go again. Yes, it's not working.
But it was we dog talked them, and it was unjust.
So what we found out after the show was over, and we had a chance to talk about the poor experience that you guys experienced, and I had to humbly apologize for yesterday, is that the network here at this institution of ours was not working well. We had no notification at all. We just didn't realize that it was bad.
The problem is, how could they notify us if the network was
not good? So yeah, so that's what happened. We do have, like I said, we do have the replay. I didn't get a chance to post it yesterday. Somehow I got really busy, but it will be up today. I promise you that.
Excellent.
Okay, are we good now? Are we good, y'all?
Good as it's gonna get.
Okay. One thing I am noticing is that the clock is. We had more time today. I don't know if that's just my clock now working on time or what, but we are in good shape now. We're going to make this thing happen. Let me say hi to guest 3595. Welcome to the show, you guys. So you know what we're going to talk about today, right? I want you all to get ready for this. We talked about it during the weekend at our weekend show or our weekly show. That will be the Tech Monks. We talked about the new Facebook IPO, and not to sound too boring or too over anyone's head, but we're going to talk about Facebook today.
Initial public offering?
Yes.
That means they're going to offer their stock to everyone that can find a stockbroker or has an online trade account.
That's right. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, if that's okay. Can we talk about Facebook today?
It's money, and it's also social media. A fine combination. We talk about these things lots.
I have a couple of stories that I want to talk about there. Then I want to move on, talk a little bit about the presidential election, talk a little bit about this new policy and what Google is now saying to those of you who are fear mongers
What are you looking at me for?
Right? I'm not actually pointing at anyone. You just happen to be across the way from me.
I'm a privacy advocate. I make no apologies for that.
Out there, there's a response that they have for you.
They are getting greedy with my personal information. It's what they end up doing with it that would be an issue.
And they wrote this just for you. They said, Dear Derek.
Come on.
This is for you. So we're going to get to that as we go through this show. But before we do, let's take pictures, y'all. Let's take pictures, shall we?
Come on.
For those of you that don't know, this opportunity is where we take pictures. It's called Daily Booth.
What it look like? What are you wearing?
And I'm doing the little Daily Booth dance right now.
It's a caffeinated Daily Booth dance.
If I had strings on my hips, it would look a lot like it. Daily Booth. It's where we go to take pictures. Like I said a second ago, you can go there right now. It's just www.dailybooth.com.
Take a picture
with your webcam.
Upload one if you don't have a webcam.
Or
Mike will take one for you.
Yeah.
Use your cell phone.
My phone. Cell phone.
Yeah.
Once you do, take that picture and that URL and share it with us right here in the chat room. Clearly, let's begin, shall we? I'm going to go with, I'll share mine first. I have a picture, and this is me with my cup of coffee and my mic, which sounds nice. My mic sounds nice. There we go.
Dude.
Get yourself a little bit of coffee, shall we? In my Kappa cup. You see that, Mike? My Kappa cup?
Yeah, see.
Hey,
what chapter is
them
that?
Them Cheez-Its look real good right about now, man.
What chapter is that?
This one here, I think on the cup, it doesn't actually say. It says Roanoke Rapids. Oh, yeah. I got it for free. Okay, let me just say it was a gift.
There's a shocker.
Yeah.
So you didn't buy that?
I didn't have to pay for it.
There is a shocker.
Okay. And I think they even gave away pens, too. I don't remember what else they gave away, but I think pens was a part of it. So anyway, yeah, that's my Kappa cup. Coffee mug. Thank you guys for playing. Tim Arthur posts a picture. Mike, have you taken a picture today?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
It's coming.
Okay, because I don't remember you taking a picture. At least, not with your camera.
Oh.
Tim Arthur,
as usual for foreboding backlighting with the deuces and the 2 for Tuesday.
The 2 for Tuesday. He looks like, as I said yesterday, he looks more and more like George Clooney. Just
on a bender.
In a dark room.
Silhouette.
In a dark room. It's George Clooney. Played by Mr. Tim Arthur. Anyway, thank you for sharing the picture, sir. It's good to see you. I'm glad to see you're still alive.
I'll share my picture.
All right, so let's see what else is going on. Mike Render, who wastes no time to continue his basketball theme.
Youch.
That's from last night's game.
Takes a snapshot of the dunk heard around the world. The moment this dunk happened, Twitter went a flurry.
Yeah, because I just saw the video, and see, the only reason I don't like this one is because he barely touches the rim, so
he just threw it in there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a very aggressive layup.
So he dunks all over Perkins.
Yeah, he did.
And Perkins just sits there and thinks about what just happened.
He is wiping the reverse imprint of Spalding off of his forehead.
Yeah, exactly.
Ouch.
I mean, in this picture that Mike posts, it just says a lot to me right now. It says, "In your face, Perkins."
Blake is very, very bad.
In your face. And then after he dunks it, he walks out like, "Yeah, who's bad?" Come on, guys.
Yeah, we kind of already knew.
Yeah. It's like the non-celebration celebration.
I mean, really.
I mean, to be honest,
I do this all the time.
I didn't think he was going to be that good one.
That's what I'm saying. Act like you've been here before. That's what I always say.
It's not the first time I dunked on folk.
Yeah, Blake Griffin, man. Just do a search. Blake Griffin on Kendrick Perkins.
Dude, he might end up getting a ring before King James does.
Well, and I heard that King James tweeted last night and says that was the #1 dunk of the year. I guess that makes me #2. Hey, it was that explosive. Especially that last little in your face. Like I said, he did touch the rim though.
He did.
He touched the rim, but it was more of a throw into the basket than it was a dunk.
Quite the highlight.
but his hand was over the basket.
I was doing something else, and I was watching something else, and I was like, man, what has Twitter gone buck over? And then I saw the highlights this morning.
Yes. Very impressive.
On the treadmill.
It was a good game, too. It was a good game.
It wasn't a Jordan, but it was a good dunk.
Jordan did none of this stuff that they doing now.
Jordan
what he
jumped
did.
over folks and put his crotch in people's faces to prove a point. It's a difference. See, Jordan didn't have to do it all the time. He just did it when he needed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And says, what were you saying now?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So anyway, thanks for sharing that with us, y'all.
Yes.
Don't forget, you can always share your picture at any point in time. And you can also follow us over there. You can follow me, dailybooth.com/Damon Nolan. Let me know you are a listener, and we'll follow you back.
Let's see the Google autocomplete. See what happened. BLAKE. Blake Griffin dunk. You got Blake, and it goes 4 clicks down.
4 clicks,
and there it is. Wow, that's
boom.
That's quite the.
It is.
That's quite the Google in a hurry.
But see, nobody could hear it. See, that's the only problem. I could probably. I mean, you guys have heard it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can hear it.
I mean, you guys have heard it.
But I just wanted to. See how quick he climbed the Google. The Blake Griffin dunk.
For you, Mike Render, the dunk of the year, the badunkadunk dunk of the year. Let me see if I can get it up for you, just for you, Mike Render, just so that you can enjoy. What you had to say? You can't even hear it.
Let them play.
Uh-oh. Watch out. Boom! Did you hear that, though?
Dude, the sound effect is
you
all you
hear
really
that,
needed for
it was like
Pete's sake.
Boom at the end. That's
good.
Wow.
Grief.
Yeah. I just want to go sit down on the bench now, sir. Can I just sit on the bench for a while?
See, I didn't have the sound on when I saw, because at the gym there are like 20 big screens on at once, so you can tune in to the one that you want. I didn't have any headphones or anything, but I saw one of them, which was obviously ESPN, and
boom.
Yes, then I saw it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
oh my goodness. And I didn't hear it until just now.
Just now.
My word.
Boom. All right. Well, let's move on and let's share your blog.
Say basketball's boring.
Well, I can watch highlights all day.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a highlight. You skip all the other stuff.
The whole game was good.
Just give me to the good stuff.
The whole game was good.
Yeah, look at that. Boom! I mean, he bent over at the waist. That's how high up he was. Boom! Look at that. I'm almost sitting in the air right now.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just retire.
Yep.
That's
I'm
it.
done.
I've done everything I needed to do this season. Let's go to Blogroll real quick.
Roll in. Roll. Not finger roll.
With Posey.
What is the opposite of finger rolling?
Dunking in your face. In your face. Blogroll was going to take a look at what you guys are writing, what you're putting out there into the blogosphere.
Reverse imprint of Spalding on your forehead.
We have 2 stories today that I'd like to share with you. The first one comes from our girl. Yes, indeedy. Miss Eileen Smith.
So prolific it makes my teeth hurt.
This one is titled How to Create a Business Community in Social Networks, written by Americ Verdi. If you are, and I like this topic, and I'll tell you why. Number one, because I like communities. And number 2, because I like social networks. So put them together, and you get a community in social networks. But specifically, we're talking about business community, how to take what you do for fun and also benefit with your career. So anyway, there's a number of really good tips and ideas that you can consider. Don't forget, go over to basicblogtips.com, and that is basicblogtips.com. And might I add, our girl, Miss Eileen, is everywhere.
Ubiquitous.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and you want to know what happened? Somebody in the opening moments of the podcast said, I just want to give a shout out to my girl, Miss Eileen Smith. What is that all about?
She's like Santa Claus, man.
You know what
She's
I'm saying?
Everywhere.
I just you know what? I just don't. I give up.
By the way,
I'm going to go sit down now.
She does know when you've been bad or good. Just for the record.
Girl, you are on it. Anyway, thank you, Miss Eileen, for sharing that with us. Also, I have another one. This one comes from our boy, little son. That would be Vincent Davis Augustus Jr., Esquire Prince. Continuing his blog, he's been getting back into blogging, which is great. Little Sun Chronicles is what it's called, and She's a Lady is what she's about. Talking about his grandmother. He has really been on sort of this place right now, kind of remembering the good people in his life. His grandmother passed on last year. This is, I think, a job well done of kind of capturing some of the lessons that she taught him over the years. So I would encourage you to go on over there, say hi, take a read, and go down his memory lane, and also enjoy the picture. She's a beautiful lady. Anyway, thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am, for sharing those stories today.
Indeed.
I really do appreciate it. And I actually thought I had hit submit on this. There I go. There's the link. And here is the other one. Boom. All right.
Pliggy-pow.
Pliggity, pow. All right, y'all. So let's see here. At 22 minutes in, I'm looking at two different clocks. That's how I determine. Let's move on and
pick one. Go with it.
Let's go with announcements real quick.
Okay.
Is that okay? Don't forget, February 16th, 2012. That's February 16th, 2012. That's Thursday. Just now, a little over 2 weeks away, Ignite Raleigh 3 comes to Raleigh, downtown Raleigh. And I haven't quite seen your topics yet, Mike and Derek. Where are they? Where are they?
I am.
So, yeah.
Mike Render
I'm still
backs
turning.
out.
I'm still turning over the possibilities in my
I'm
head.
volunteering,
So I don't
guys.
think I can participate.
I'm not going to get on stage and do a
Do it.
presentation.
I think Mike's is going to be better.
I'm going to do volunteering. I'm going to sit on the back and
I don't have
give
one.
away T-shirts.
I don't have one yet either. See, you have
Will
one.
it take mine? You can do it better than I can.
No. See,
You know
you're
more
Just
you're
do it.
You're an authority.
Just
you know
do
more
it.
about Duke than I do.
Just
yes,
do
but
it.
You know more about basketball than
You know,
I
I
do.
think I listened to yesterday's episode, and I kept saying, just do it. It's the same thing I keep saying today. Just do it already. Anyway, go out there. If you haven't, go to IgniteRally.com, IgniteRally.com to see what topics are available. Vote on the ones you like. Also, you can post your own. It's not too late to post your own. And I am still waiting. Starting tomorrow, I would like to open up the floor for one individual per day up until the last day that I can to market and advertise your topic. Tell us what your topic is about and why we should vote for you. So if you're interested, please pass that on. We'll be posting it on the blog tonight, but pass it on and get on the show. Let us hear your topic and get some more airplay around your votes.
Get some play.
You can DM me or you can email me at damonnolan@gmail.com. All right, I think that's enough. Let's go into FeedWatch.
FeedWatch? FeedWatch. FeedWatch.
That's right.
What is FeedWatch?
FeedWatch is
What is
where
FeedWatch?
we constantly, daily,
Consistently.
sporadically
Semi-regularly.
comb the blogs so that you don't have to.
Excellent.
We give you the news that you can use because that's what we do.
Someone's got to do it.
So you best not snooze. You will not lose, Mike, unless you don't give me one over those Cheez-Its.
I got
Unless, of course, you just
way
like
too
singing the
early.
blues.
I may have to snooze.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin talking about Facebook and why someone believes that the IPO is really irrelevant. There are 4 reasons that they think this is just irrelevant. Number 1, we have been hearing rumors that, actually, which we now know to be true, that Facebook will be launching their IPO. And they would be valued somewhere in the ballpark of $75 billion. That's with a B, y'all. Or somewhere to $100 billion, thus making it one of the most valuable companies, if not the most valuable company, over Apple and ExxonMobil. And we would see this roll out sometime between April and June. That's the word on the street.
That sure is going to raise a whole lot of cash, liquid capital assets in a short period of time.
I think they said $10 billion is what they're shooting for right now.
Wonder what I would do if I was running a company of that size that needed to expand into other spaces with that kind of money. I would probably look into something along the lines of streaming video. Of course I'm going to buy doggone Netflix with that kind of money.
I saw that one coming. Well, according to this article, there are 4 reasons why Facebook's IPO is, irrelevant, coming from Forbes.com. This might be a little bit, for the financially challenged like me. Somewhat a little over my head, but I wanted to get it out there into the discussion.
You own stocks and bonds. Stop fronting. You should have said like me.
Number 1, it is grossly overvalued.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, this was one of my points that I wanted to make when I was making. I think I did an okay job of saying it, but I really believe that Facebook is overvalued, okay? And I don't have any numbers right now because I don't see any number. I don't have anything in front of me that tells me this is where they're making their money. This is what it's worth. I'm hearing these numbers and I'm hearing, are you going to tell me when I compare this to, let's say, a Google, when I compare this to an Apple, when I compare this to another company that sells something in this industry, that Facebook is worth more than all those companies? That doesn't sit right with me.
Well, it depends on exactly what is their source of revenue other than advertisements.
I think for the most part, I believe advertisements is it. And then don't forget they do have sort of the credit system, right, where you can buy, if you're playing video games, you can buy credits, Facebook credits. I don't know how profitable that is, though.
That's what I'm saying. It could be, unless this is all speculation, and like I said, I have no dog in this hunt. I don't play with stocks and bonds. I save money and put it in a retirement fund and let other people do that when I have enough money. But unless they change their business model or at least expand into other more immediately profitable realms, i.e. the coming video streaming wave, and this is beyond our little friendly gentleman's wager. They've got to move into something else that really makes money.
Right.
Clearly, their ad revenue is not that profitable compared to Google right now. Everyone that I see talks about their value in terms of potential value because of their huge user base, which I think truthfully is peaked. Right. Unless they bring something else. I think everybody, the games, you play 3 or 4 of them and you wear them out and you're like, yeah, so what else is there?
And here's something interesting, and see, this is where this is exactly where I feel, and your point is well said, and I'm looking at one measurement that many investors use, and that's the P/E, right? The P/E ratio, and right now Facebook's P/E is 80. Okay,
now good or bad?
That's really, really high. Clearly, and then if I compare this, though, see, you get to compare this to other companies in that same industry.
That makes sense.
Look at Google.
I would not call them in the same industry. Not yet. They do totally different things. Google wants to get in Facebook's space, and Facebook is trying to play around in Google's space even less so. Google is a search engine.
But even in this article, even in the Forbes article, they do compare Facebook to the Googles, and they compare it to Apple.
I just have a hard time seeing those guys as direct competitors, except for G1 versus Facebook. Facebook doesn't have a YouTube. Facebook doesn't have a Google Docs. Facebook doesn't have a Google Talk. Google is in the... Right. I see them as Granny Smith apples to some other kind of apple. Well, I guess that's a really bad. I guess that's a really bad allegory, being that we're also talking about Apple in this very same game. Okay, so that would be tangerines to navel oranges. Hey. they're kind of close, but not really.
But let me get this.
More like oranges to grapefruits.
This number. I just want to share this with you. If Facebook has a P/E of 80, right, and let me compare this to Google, which has a P/E of 19. Apple has a P/E of 12.7. Now, what does that mean? Let's assume that they all had the same share price.
I mean, if we were talking about Burger King versus Wendy's, this would be
right. Well, let's say if all things were considered equal,
okay,
right, If they had a P&E of 80 and Google had a PE of 19,
Okay.
what that would mean is it would cost me $19 for every $1 of earnings.
I get that.
It's a better deal to buy Google than it is to buy Facebook.
Yes.
That's what that means.
My better return on my investment
Because
today.
I can get the same value in a Google stock
You're talking
for a
about
lot less money than I can with trying to get the same thing out of Facebook. I would have to pay $80 for every $1 of earnings.
I get that.
And so basically what that says to me is that is way too high when all your competitors in that industry, right, if you compare them, are way lower. So again, that to me is definitely overvalued.
I mean, dude, Apple is selling stuff. Apple
Yes,
has their
there are
own
products. There are
exactly.
tangible things that I
Apple
can
has
see
their
and
own,
hold.
Yeah, their own stuff that people go to their store and they give people money and they walk out with stuff.
And that was my hesitation on when we were talking on Sunday with Tim and Aaron. That was my initial hesitation. I couldn't say it because I didn't have any numbers to look at, but I just felt like, what are they selling? Mm-hmm. I'm not buying anything from Facebook.
The one thing that they do have,
I'm not buying anything from Apple either.
The one thing that they do have, the one thing that them and Google do have in common is the ability to highly target their ads. If you are selling something and you know what kind of people are likely to purchase that product, whatever it is, goods or services, this is something that when I was in the broadcast industry years and years ago, this is something that broadcasters only dreamed about. The idea that I would not have to spend a pile of money on the top 40 station and the urban station and the adult contemporary station just to find women of childbearing years or something. Just as an example, you can get to those people for that product and be absolutely sure that you're going to reach those people, which is something that broadcasting, at least in its old incarnation, could never make a claim. They would tell you this is your best probability of reaching the highest number thereof, but this really laser focused direct marketing between Google and Facebook for those ads.
And I agree because they know your demographics. Like
exactly.
I can tell your gender, your age.
They know who you are. They know who you are. They know what you like. They know what your friends like. The problem is, not a whole lot of people click on web ads.
I don't.
Ads are in the way.
Yeah, I don't.
And the thing is, with radio and television, ads are you got to live through them in order to get to the other stuff that you're trying to get to. With on the web. Not so much.
Right.
I'm not so sure how effective the ads that they're selling are, but I guess if it is something that I really, really want and they know that I'm looking for it, like I'm searching for, I don't know, some kind of holistic remedy for my back or something like that, and then they keep coming up when I'm searching for work-related stuff.
Right.
Maybe eventually I'll click on one, but I doubt very seriously I'm going to, no, I just doubt it. So it's a weird continuum, the directness of the target versus the effectiveness of people look at banner ads as an imposition or any web ads. Get out of the way. You're in the way of my content.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I'm not going to go over the other ones because I don't fully understand them as much as I did the first one. But I will say there are a couple other ones, and you can always see that over in Forbes.com. But I just wanted to get that out. And I know this is the big thing that's happening right now. It's in the news. People are talking about, Facebook. And I had once. I did try to buy an ad once. Just wanted to point that out there. I have purchased once or twice. I probably spent about $60, and I did get quite a few people to join the page. But I wanted that to lead to something else, and that was the second story that I have here, and that is why Facebook's subscribe button cannot compete with Twitter. And I thought that this was kind of in line with that very thought, that even though I paid $60 or whatever it was to get a number of people to look at my page and to ultimately sign up for my fan page, as an example, one of the things that I noticed is that the quality of return on those numbers means absolutely nothing. And the next story that I have here comes from the Next Web, and their opinion or their position is that Facebook cannot, their subscribe button that you can now put on your website and whatever, does very little to provide the quality of return that Twitter has. And I'll explain more as what that means. So according to this particular article, the subscribe button has done an outstanding job of getting more people to subscribe to your Facebook updates. Okay.
Say that again.
So on Facebook, right? If you were to go to Facebook now, I can actually start subscribing to people. Right. There's a little subscribe button on when I try to instead of following you, which means we have to be friends. I can just subscribe to you, which means now anytime you update, I'll get that notification, or I can see it in my on my wall.
Okay.
So some of these journalists who are putting this thing on their websites.
By the way, you can get you can get it to get those get your wall converted to an RSS feed, and it shows up in your iGoogle if you're so inclined.
So you have to use iGoogle first.
Well, who wouldn't?
I raised my hand quietly.
Not so quietly.
But what I've noticed in this article shows is that many journalists are getting huge numbers of subscriptions. I'm talking about 320% increases in their subscriptions. However, they're also getting a bunch of garbage and spam. One journalist basically described it like this and said, you know what? At first, I was really excited about getting this huge uptick in my subscribers. But I started getting all these weird people writing like hieroglyphics on my walls and saying, hi, how are you doing, sexy? And, just things that had nothing to do with the topic at all. So what they ended up doing was cutting off the subscription thing so that you couldn't go out there and say these things anymore. So it was like, what was the point of all that? It's great I'm getting these huge numbers, but it means nothing when the quality of the people who are responding are really bad. And when you compare that to Twitter, on the other hand, there's more of a discussion in this case with journalists. It's real comments. It's real feedback. It's real talk. So I just thought that was interesting that as we look at these advertising, when you look at the discussion we had the other day about the failure of the fan page and how even though Facebook has this advertisements, it doesn't necessarily help the dialogue much. I thought that was interesting. And I really wonder, though, and I think when we talk about this, I wonder what the future of Facebook really holds. Yeah, this is exciting news for them.
I gotta tell you, man, I think this is a good time to do the IPO because I think they have peaked.
Yeah, get out now.
You go ahead and get that last big influx of money while the getting is good.
That's right.
Unless you figure out something else to do.
That's kind of where I'm at now. I just don't know how much more they're going to do or what they can do.
They can
before
buy
they
Netflix.
start to kind of burn out.
Seriously, they can buy Netflix.
Don't do it.
I wouldn't want to see that. I would. The last thing. That's how come I'm not on Spotify. I don't like the idea that it requires a Facebook account to do it. I have a Facebook account. I would like to see what it's like, but I'm totally happy with Google Music, especially now that I can download my own stuff that I've uploaded from another machine if I'm so inclined. Dude, I'm completely happy with that. But as it happens, it's just a matter of principle. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't like being told that's how I got to do it. I would just rather not. I have no desperate need for it. It's only a minor curiosity. So if I don't get to do it like I do it, I'll pass. And I'm likely to do the same thing if they were to set up a similar model with Netflix. Dude, I can give you some money, and you give me the service.
Right.
But if I have to give you some money and connect all my stuff together, without regard as to whether I want to connect it, keep it.
Right. Well, I do want to point out something. I thought this was interesting. Eileen says from the chat room, check out this webinar from Mari Smith. Happens immediately following our show. She guarantees that she's going to say something about buying Facebook ads, blah, blah, blah. Go to livestream.com/Mari Smith. Let me also say hi to a couple of our guests that are walking in. Also, Neil has entered the room. Thank you, sir, for joining us. But anyway, I just want to say, definitely we'll keep our eye on that and see what they say. So that's the update on Facebook. We'll definitely see how this goes in the coming days and weeks and months. Just thought I'd get it out there. Let's talk a little bit about this presidential campaign, who is now beginning to use, or at least talking about using, the Square. That little device, Mike, that we used at our event a few weeks back. It looks like that President Obama, for one, is going to get many of their volunteers a Square device to hook up to their iPad or tablets or mobile phone, and then will take donations to the campaign directly from the Square. My very first thought, though, when I first heard about this was, oh no, that's opening it up for spammers. Or that's opening up for people who are trying to take my money. And I don't mean take it as in the case of, they got my credit card number, they're going to run with it. But anybody could walk up and say, hey, I work for Obama. And or I work for, because Obama's not the only one that's planning on doing it. Matter of fact, Mitt Romney's going to do it tonight.
Speaking of Mitt Romney, I heard an interesting statistic last night. The previous 8 presidents,
I heard that too,
from Nixon through Obama, they're considered their peak net worth. That's both of the Bushes, Clinton, Nixon, Johnson, Jimmy Carter, Obama, missing one.
You say Reagan?
I did not. Reagan. Those previous 8 presidents, at the peak of their net worth, add all of them together, multiply them by 2. Still not as much as Mitt Romney is worth today.
Wow. I need to get into some investing. I need to invest more. That's what I need to do. That's the game plan.
That is
Invest
a gazillionaire-ish individual right there. Whoa, that's a lot of money.
Wow.
Yep. So if he wants me to swipe something,
yeah. Well, I totally agree.
I've got something untoward that they could swipe.
Yeah. That's funny. I had this visual of this girl.
Oh, not that.
I was
thinking my finger. See, you talked about something else.
Yeah, you can wipe my backside.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I was like, oh, I got a visual.
Funnier. I wasn't thinking about that.
Here,
But
mate.
See, that's horrible.
Swipe these. Anyway, I don't know. So what do you guys think?
Funny.
Is this a great idea?
I think Obama has, my dear president, in the last election, got the drop, the technology drop on his competition before, and that's part of his success story. It's going to be a little harder this time around because it's been done before. Everybody sees how effective it is. So I think anyone that is running for president or even thinks about it has got to look at how to best leverage technology to toward those ends in a way that's, like I said, I think Obama did that first and best. So now everybody's going to be looking at those burgeoning technologies like the swipe for the contributions. It's going to be hard, but again, this just shows that he or his people, they're really good at this.
So last night Obama was on Google Hangout. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
I did not. I'm trying to find a replay someplace.
I was too busy watching Raw.
Oh, well, it was at 5:30. Which means you would have been here at work.
Yeah, I was still here then at work.
And you were watching Raw at work?
No, it doesn't come on that early.
Oh, okay.
I see where you're trying to put
no,
me.
you said it. You said, no, I wasn't watching it because I was watching Raw. So I was like, well.
I thought it came on later.
No.
See, I was doing work at work.
5:30 to 6:15. It was really about 6:20. But there were it was really a YouTube video. It was like a live streaming.
So there is a replay.
I'm gonna assume yes,
because the State of the Union. If you go to whitehouse.gov, get to the State of the Union. It is the enhanced with infographics. It's really, really well done, regardless of your political leanings. Just the idea that how well they did the infographics and the motion graphics along with the speech and the information and
he's done that before.
Yes,
I think he did it last year too.
I just really saw it for the first time this year.
Drives it home,
dude. That was impressive.
Yeah. Well, so
I just got to it a couple of days ago.
So for those that missed it, basically he had about 5 different groups of people there on the Hangout. It wasn't an actual Hangout. It was a Hangout, but it was
modified
streaming
Hangout?
through YouTube.
Okay.
So it was really a YouTube video that was live, but the people who were asking questions were in a Hangout with the president.
Right.
And at first I was getting frustrated. I was like, man, this Google Hangout stuff isn't working. Then I realized, oh yeah, it was our network. So it was kind of sporadic for me. I had to keep refreshing it, but it was okay. I don't know how beneficial it really was, but I think anytime you can get somebody out in front of the people to answer questions and to deal with it. But again, you're talking about having to sort of filter the questions.
That's nothing new. The idea that you've got
it's still very safe.
You've got the idea that you've got screeners is as old as the interview itself.
Right. Yeah, well, definitely. There wasn't really any. I thought for a moment, though, there was going to be one because you could still talk, even though someone else was asking a question. You can interrupt. And there was a few times somebody actually interrupted. There was a young lady who was really pressing the president on, hey, my husband is an engineer. He doesn't have a job. What are you going to do about it? The president, says, this is what I'm going to do about it. He says, no, but really, what are you going to do about it? And kept pressing him on this one point.
Wait, you want me to hire you? Look, the Army Corps of Engineers is hiring.
And he said, no, seriously. He said, you send me your husband's resume, and I will take a look at it, and I will tell you if there's a problem. I'll make sure
That's crazy.
He has some attention. So
that actually happens a lot. Again, I'll harken back to 20 years ago in my broadcasting career. We would frequently have a state senator or U.S. senator or someone from the House of Representatives, and a lot of times, especially if they are interviewing within the district for the people that are voting for them, they will take these little things that you would think as seemingly minor problems, take them into their own hands. And Jesse Helms was notorious for that. A lot of people that had just had stark political differences with him would vote for him because of that one time where I walked up to him, I saw him in the Harris Teeter on the street, and I told him about my kid's problem getting into school because my kid was adopted and didn't have the right, and Helms and others would take these things to their assistants and say, handle this.
Right.
The kid's name is John Q. Public. I'm calling from Senator Helms' office about John Q. Public Jr., and you need to do what it is that we want.
That's right.
And would get results. It's just crazy. So the idea that the president would actually talk about looking at somebody's resume and seeing what he could do, not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
That could very well be not just talk.
Yeah. Well, let me switch gears and talk a little bit about Google, a little bit more about Google. We talked about Google Plus and the Hangout with the president last night, but let's go back to this privacy policy. Google actually has a response to you. Those of you who are fear mongers, those of you who are out there trying to promote,
just for the record, I am not a fear monger. I am just cynical. I am cautious. That's all.
This one actually comes from Engadget, but the points that I'm gonna share with you actually came from Google's blog. But it looks like what they end up doing. They said that we are really trying to help you guys who are afraid of these changes better understand what it is we're actually saying. And many people, according to this study or story, haven't actually read the new privacy policy. And if they did, they may not feel as bad about it. So anyway, so what Google is saying is, look, we're going to make our letter that we wrote to the Congress clarifying the new terms of service. We're going to make that available to you so you can see it. Also, here are some bullet points of what is not going to be changing about our new privacy policy. And here are a few of those. Number one, we are still going to keep your private information private. We're not changing the visibility of any information that you have stored on Google. If you have it private, it is considered and still will be private. We're still allowing you to do searches, watch videos on YouTube, get driving directions on Google Maps, and perform other tasks without ever signing into the Google account. Again, we're not requiring you to do that for us to provide a service. Number three, we're still offering you choices or a choice and control through the privacy tools like the Google dashboard and the ads preference manager, which we looked at the other day when we were trying to see what Google knows about you.
Yep.
You can manage and understand that data much better. It's there. It's right there for you. Go out there and use it. You can make adjustments as you see fit. We will not, and I quote, we will not sell your personal information to advertisers. That is not going to happen. And then lastly, the last bullet point, it is we're still offering data liberation. If you prefer to close your Google account and take your data elsewhere, you can. All you got to do is, as we've seen before, you say, oh, look, I'm taking all my pictures, I'm taking all my stuff, I'm moving it to Facebook. You can do that through their tool.
That's funny that you would mention a lot of British politicians are looking to make Facebook adhere to certain privacy considerations before being allowed to do business, to be on the internet in Great Britain. One of those things is the right to be forgotten. Is how this group in Parliament phrased it. So and Google is saying that they are already doing that. So that's kind of cool. It's just hard to trust what they say and what they do. Truthfully, as big of an privacy rights advocate as I am, as long as they are doing what they say they are doing and they are not selling my information, they're simply using that which they know about me to better target those advertisers, that is a small price to pay for the services that they provide. I'm totally cool with that. It's just the idea that they have the power to change their minds and not tell me. They plainly and simply do, and that is a level of trust. I trust them not to do that, and Facebook has violated that trust.
Right.
So I'm slow to trust to trust a big behemoth company that is making money off of my personal information to do the right thing with it. But again, it's the choice that you make when you take them up on the service that they provide.
Right.
I'm okay with that, I guess.
Well, and let's move on the other side of Google. Let's move to the side of the Android device or the Android phone. Have you guys heard about
which I love,
the recent news about Radio Shack?
Huh?
No. Radio Shack's stock is plummeting.
What?
By 27% last we saw in the pre-market after an issue that we're seeing, and that is that the market share for the Android is dropping. We saw that we talked about the rise of the iPhone and how they are really taking market share away from Android. I think it was like 14 points, if I'm not mistaken, during the last quarter. 15 points. I'm sorry, 15-point decline by Android over the last quarter around Christmas time, when obviously a lot of these phone service providers were making the iPhone available. And I thought it was funny, Mike. I think what you did was funny. What you sent your boy QB down here. Mike says, "Hey, go see Damon. He wants an iPhone."
Yeah, I'm trying to look out for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was good.
You had it right there, and you'd have been in sprint.
I saw what you did there with the misdirection.
Yeah, I saw that.
The footing pop humor. That's pretty good.
The same.
Nicely done, sir.
But so we are seeing a number of companies who are hurting after this recent iPhone debacle, where basically in order to get an iPhone on your service, you have to highly subsidize a number of services, and we've seen Sprint lose quite a bit of money trying to get the iPhone on its service. We've also seen, and now Radio Shack, to get the same service, is also losing a considerable amount of money. And matter of fact, we've seen a lot of companies from around the world who have tried to work with Apple and are having to pay a considerable amount of money to get the phone on their system, on their the carrier.
Yes, that's we're talking about that. Verizon is selling the hardware like hotcakes, but losing money in the long run because it's expensive they're only making just a little sliver off the hardware that they're selling, and then the cost of getting and maintaining that network is making it almost not worth the money for them. It's almost not worth the effort for them. I don't know that. I have no inside information, but that is from the information that they are releasing about it. That is certainly what it appears to be.
Right. So
they negotiated a bad deal, dude.
Well, it's great for Apple. Clearly, because they're making money hand over fist right now.
Yes, indeed.
I just heard yesterday too, by the way, and I am excited about this personally, but I just heard recently that Sprint will get the Galaxy Nexus. They're going to get it.
What about T-Mobile?
Congratulations.
That's right. They are going to get it.
I am due in a couple of days, literally a couple of days.
Now the question that I learned.
I can't move over to Sprint just lickety split like that, like I could when I was a single man, because now me and my wife are on the same plan. So I would have to wait until August, where her plan was to move over. Which I mean, I don't mind. I'm still completely happy with my Nexus 1. But if T-Mobile were to get the Nexus S, I would have one that very same day. Well, there's one real close to my place of employment.
Well, I will tell you,
I'll get it on the way to work, and if I'm running late, I'll get it on the way from work. Get my phone.
It is good news, though. Very good news to hear that they're going to be getting this, and I understand that this will be the first LTE phone for Sprint. Of course, the question that we had to ask was, will they get the LTE first before they get the phone, or will they get the phone and then once the LTE network is available, the phone will be available? So I don't know.
If I were them, I would go ahead and sell the hardware and make the infrastructure work.
Definitely.
Well, and yeah, get it while the getting is good.
Definitely. I'm totally with you on that. By the way, I just want the phone. I just want.
What I'm talking about.
I just want the phone because it works. It's fast. Matter of fact, this is the one phone, and I think
it is the Nexus One, the next generation.
Exactly.
This is a great phone, man. It is
what the iPhone would be for Android. So all the Android users out there, and I really do believe to some extent that I think the Galaxy S2 is also a very good comparable phone. And I want to get that one or the Nexus, the Galaxy Nexus. Right now, if I had my choice, I would go with the Galaxy Nexus first. Then I'd fall with the S2.
I am very likely going to hold out for the Nexus because I'm so happy with the I didn't know it could be like this. My Nexus One, man, I think I am inclined to hold out until baby girl's contract is over, just to get the Nexus if it does not become available with my current carrier between now and the time the contract is over.
Right. And I did ask the question. I said, my contract is up in August, which means that might be just in time for the Galaxy Nexus, and of course, any updates and things like that. So this might be a really good time for
because I spoke to the guy at the phone kiosk like around Christmas when's my contract over? I forgot, and he told me, and I said, dude, so then what you gonna do to keep my business?
Hey, that's how you gotta negotiate sometimes, right?
I can't do nothing, but if you call out 1-800 number, I say, can you get me the Nexus? I don't see one sitting here in this here kiosk. The answer is not today, but by the time you can trade up for one,
it'll be there.
That's what he said, and I said, well, is that based on inside information? He said, he nodded his head and said, no.
No. That's a good one.
You didn't hear that from me, but sure enough.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
For all you users out there who are not Chrome users or Chrome fans, I want you to be aware that Firefox has released today, Firefox 10.
Yep.
It is now available for you. You can go out there and grab it. As a matter of fact, all the major UI tweaks, though, and this comes from Engadget, won't arrive until version 10, but there are some really good things under the hood that you can expect to see. You will see things like the forward button now only appears once. You've pressed it back. The API provide a full screen viewing of the web apps, anti-aliased WebGL graphics, and an extended support release that enables enterprise customers to only download security updates. CS3D transitions are now supported alongside a new CSS inspector for those digging deep into the fabric of the universe of the internet.
So you don't have to download Firebug anymore. It just comes there native.
It comes right there.
I mean, I don't mind downloading the add-ons to what I want. In fact, that gives me the ability to keep the stuff off of that I don't want. But cool.
You can also see Java applet and moving bookmarks crashes should be a thing of the past. But some things that haven't quite changed, but that'll be the herky-jerky scrolling in Gmail, Silverlight, videos not working in OS 10, and vertical scrolling is broken on some touchpads.
90 seconds.
So that's the latest. If you're interested, go out there and grab it. It's still, for me, not better than Chrome, but I did read an interesting post yesterday. It says Chrome is losing a lot of the appeal that many of us had early on. It was just faster. It was better, but now
everybody else is catching up. I love Firefox because I can make it do things like I wanted to do. I mean, that's basically my way of, it's my modus operandi. The most versatile technology wins in my world.
Well, let me say thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Let me say thank you to you, Alan Tran. Thank you, DB Funky, Dyslexic in America, that's LL. All of our guests coming in and out, thank you for joining us. Eileen Smith, that's Miss Eileen Smith. We also got Nab, that's Neil, and Tim Arthur. Thank you guys for all that you do. I really appreciate you hanging out with us, even though there was a little slight choppiness. Don't forget, though,
Blog Talk Radio. I'm going to go check my internet connection once I get back to my desk, and we'll know for sure then.
Don't forget that the higher quality audio will be posted on YouTube along with today's and yesterday's, in case you missed it. Also, join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. Check us on Facebook, Twitter, and all the other places. Until tomorrow, shall I say, Mike Render, take us out of here.
Get back to work.
Deuces.
10 seconds.